It's a big week for Hong Kong racing with a massive day coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday. But first, we're at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Welcome to Racing to Win, 9-race program coming up at the City Circuit. And to preview it all, joined in the studio by Paul Lally and Tom Wooden. Tom, for a massive day on Sunday. This is quite a good leading meeting. It
really is, Mark. Good little entree building up to FWD Champions Day at the weekend. The Class 2 over the 1,200 metres is a good contest. It's got rewarding together. Handsome Bobo, last winner. How Deep Is Your Love, runner-up behind Victor, the winner last time out, and plenty of other horses that are all in form.
They are indeed. We'll have a look closely at some of those races. Paul Lilly's here as well. Paul, any jackpots? And we've also got that extra treble now.
Yeah, so don't forget that extra treble on races 3, 4 and 5, an early treble there for you. There is no jackpots at this coming into this meeting at all. But look, there's really some nice progressive horses. Sompak Fu, see if he can go win once again. He's really found his straps, hasn't he?
He has. He goes up in grade and he's looking for 4 in a row. Before we crack into the meeting, couple of scratchings to pass on. Race 3, number 1, Super King, is now above all for Ruin Meyer. And the other scratching is race 6, number 6, Turin Mascot, is now Majestic Victory for Vincent Ho. So they are the changes as far as the meeting goes. The details for Wednesday night, we're up to meeting number 65. 9, all on the C+3 course this week. And the two races, we preview races 8, 10, 9, the Class 3 over the 1,000 and the Class 2 over the 1,200 metres. But I stated is first, the Busan Handicap, and we've got California Deeply coming back from Sha Tin. He does race well here at Happy Valley, as does Special M. Mark the Moment, first time over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley. He did place at Randwick prior to arriving at the distance. Lightning Storm is first up for the season. Harmony and Blessed has the blinkers going on again. Flying Dragon wears a visor. Harmony Fire draws a gate, and the runner, all wins have been over the 1,200 metres. Lucky Fun wears a visor once again. Now the speed here, Tom, this is a really good field. Expected to be good with horses like Harmony and Blessed in the race.
Yeah, he'll certainly go forward from barrier 4 in there, putting the blinkers back on him. He was up on the pace last start, but looked a little flat sort of the last 100 or so. Lightning Storm is first up for a long time. This horse for Danny Schumann, Lyle Hewitson, he's had one trial coming into this. I guess the question is, Paul, where does Season's Wit end up? Because he travelled strongly throughout, but didn't find a great deal last start.
Yeah, I just wonder if with this pace in the race, because Harmony and Blessed really likes to tank along, there is an opportunity for him to sort of slot in behind Lightning Storm. That's the query, because I think they're going to run it at a good pace this race. So I think that the field might open up a little bit more than we see there, and as such he can get in.
Well, to find out a little bit more about Season's Wit right now, Nick spoke to his trainer earlier today. It is Jamie Richards.
Jamie, Season's Wit is returning to Happy Valley. He's still a very lightly raced horse.
Yeah, he's came up here with good enough form. He improved a lot when he was gelded before he arrived, and he's come up and acclimatised well. He's raced well, and we're looking forward to him starting there on Wednesday night, although he has drawn poorly, as you know, so he's going to need a bit of luck.
What did you make of his run last time at Sha Tin? Were you and the team sort of pleased with that, or what was the reaction out of that performance?
I thought it was okay. Zach said afterwards he's probably not quite strong enough yet to handle the straight. They obviously go a little bit quicker than they do going around the corner at Happy Valley, but he still ran with merit, although he's one of those horses that when he travels, you travel strong, and then when you let his head go, he doesn't find a whole lot just yet. So whether that's just a bit of an immaturity thing and he'll continue to improve as he gets a bit stronger, we hope so, but the consensus was that we head back to Happy Valley and get back around the corner.
You've given him a trial since then as well, seemingly came through that quite nicely.
Yeah, he trialled well. Probably a little bit more than we like to do with him at the trials, but Zach was just mindful that he wanted to make him find the line a little bit. So he trialled well, and we haven't done a whole heap with him since, just ticked him over, and he heads into the race in good shape.
You mentioned obviously gate 10, we are on the C+3, so it's never ideal to get those double digits. How does he overcome that, or do you leave that to your jockey?
We'll just leave it up to him, I think. There's no point worrying about what I can't control, so just have a look at the pace in the race in the next few days and make a bit of a plan going forward. But yeah, that's up to the man on top.
It is Jamie Richards on his runner Season's Wit, who's had the 2 starts. We're going to go, Tom, to the first of them. He's been to Sha Tin since then and had that trial that we saw in the interview with Jamie. He was beaten as not the favourite this night, went down narrowly behind Atomic Force, then had that fourth at Sha-Tin, the trial win.
Yeah, Atomic Force has come out and performed again really well, so we'll see what happens with this sort of form. But I thought he just looked a little bit soft late last time out, Paul, and he wasn't beaten overly far there behind Flying High. I thought he pretty much had every chance. The trial, I thought, looked relatively strong.
Yeah, interesting what they're saying is that they're going back to Happy Valley because he's only a 3-year-old and he's not strong enough for this race down the straight yet. So coming back to Happy Valley looks a good thing for me.
A few more in that replay there, Paul. They tried Gorgeous Vitality at 1200 last time and he didn't run the trip at all.
No, he didn't. So the way he races, you'd think he'll get 1200 easy, but coming back to 1000 looks good for him. And also California Deeply, I think the 1000, he just needs pace on California Deeply.
He's another one that's trialled well, actually. Gorgeous Vitality looked under a good hold.
Here is California Deeply at Sha-Tin last time. Tom, you're a fan of the horse.
Yeah, I think he'll be close again, but he does get a long way out of his ground. He wasn't going to beat We Are Hero this day, but he was right in the market and closed strongly late. We know he's got a really powerful turn of foot and hopefully just might be able to be that bit closer so he's within striking distance.
Yeah, just the barrier 8 just makes it a little bit awkward, doesn't it? But look, you know he'll be running on really strongly at the end, so just look for him late.
Here's a trial from him too, Paul. Now, this is back on the 24th of March, but the focus here is Lightning Storm, who's first up for the season. Danny Shum's given him one trial. It was this one. He had 4 starts last prep for 2 wins, a second and a fourth.
Yeah, look, and then he had those issues, didn't he? And we haven't seen him for over a year. Look, I'd be a bit worried. I'm a bit worried with him just coming in for the one trial into this race, having issues and not race for a year, so I've left him out.
Be a great trading performance from Daddy Shumi if he was able to get him to run top 3, first up for 427 days, up 62 pounds. I'm going to keep him safe here because he did, of course, win his first race here in Hong Kong. He will need a bit of luck from barrier number 9, however.
Our focus, Tom, is on the other horse out of that trial who has raced since that morning. It's California Deeply, and you've already made a bit of a case for him.
Yeah, I think he'll be right in the firing line here. He just has to carry the big weight here, 135 pounds. He's run well with the 134, so I don't see why he can't run well with even 1 extra pound here.
Yeah, definitely goes in. It's just his running style. He needs a little bit of luck and a bit of pace on. But look, we know he's a talented horse.
Doesn't end there, Paul. Mark the Moment is a horse that has had the 6 starts in Hong Kong. He's placed 4 times, tried the 1000 at Sha-Tin, switches to the smaller circuit for the 1000 this week.
Yeah, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 5. He's got a little bit of pace, this horse, so he can put himself into a nice position, I think, Mark the Moment. He's run second of this rating in the past as well, so I'm going to include him here over the 1000.
Yeah, I just missed out on a spot here. He's drawn barrier 5. He's been consistent. He had a nice run in the trail here, beaten by a good enough type, an excellent fighter last time out. Tried hard. He's certainly in there for sure from that sort of draw, but I left him out this time round.
The runner, Tom, he's probably not going to be in the market and would like 1,200 metres, but Wednesday night is Happy Valley is where he does excel.
Yeah, and look, he had every chance, I thought, in this race here behind Exponential a couple of weeks ago. 1,000 metres worried me, Paul. Jack Wong off a rating of 64.
Yeah, left him out for those reasons that you've sort of said. Back to 1,200, even down a grade, I'd be more interested in him.
OK, so we'll watch on the runner this week. That is a look at some horses that are running in race number 8. Who's the winner amongst them, Paul?
Well, I like Seasons Wit as a horse. I think with those runs and that really good trial, he just needs to get some luck from the draw. If he can slot in, I think the field will open up. Then he's on top. Special M is very consistent. He's got a really nice draw in 3, so he's going to get a perfect run just in behind. California Deeply from the back, and Mark the Moment won't be far away either. So 7, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah, I'll stick with California Deeply. I was keen on him last time out at Sha-Tin and chased home We Are Hero, beaten 1 3/4. So he's on top ahead of Seasons Wit. Of course, he was beaten first up by Atomic Force. He didn't actually run so well at his next start. It was Atomic Energy I was thinking of, and he's run 4th last time out behind Flying High. I thought looked to have every chance down the straight. We'll see if coming back to a bend suits him. Lightning Storm first up for a long time. He's had surgery to a right knee. Didn't mind his trial, but he'll have to be at his best to go close in this, I think, Lightning Storm, but didn't mind the trial. And Harmony Fire, drawn barrier number 1. He was caught wide up on the pace and weakened last start. Been a wee while since he's won. 68 his last win back in June of 2021. 1, 7, 5 and 9.
And there it is, all the information for race number 8. We're off to a break here on Racing to Win. Back to look at race number 9 right after this. But before we go, this happens Sunday. Welcome back to Racing to Win as we have a look at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Race number 9's a really good field, this, and it's over the 1,000 metres, rather Class 2 over the 1,200 metres. Race 8's over the 1,000 metres. So we've got Rewarding Together, comes out of that Group 2 race last time, is a 6-time course and distance winner. Computer Patch has his second look at Happy Valley. Handsome Bobo, being an extended rating Class 2, actually carries less weight than what he did when he won last time. Campione's best form has been at Shah 10. Astrologer's been back to the trial since his last start. How Deep Is Your Love has his second run in Class 2, was placed behind Victor, the winner, at his first look. Harmony and Rich has had a stable change. Me Choi to David Hayes, and David's put the blinkers on for the first time. Rock Your Heart raced wide when third behind Handsome Bobo. Cops a good draw here, and Family Folks is a 4-time course and distance winner. Now the speed map here, Tom, we've got horses like Computer Patch, who likes to run to the top, but he's also got competition from Campione, Atomic Force, Harmony and Rich, and we have seen Computer Patch ridden with cover plenty of times lately too. Yeah,
we have. It's been a wee while since they've sort of really pressed forward with him, and it was a better run on the all-weather last time out from the Computer Patch. But Campione should be able to lead here, especially with Angus Chung aboard. So you've got Harmony and Rich, who shouldn't be far away. Blinkers on him, Paul. I thought he trialled quite okay recently with the blinkers on too.
Yeah, the blinkers seemed to work, didn't they? So they're persevering here to race day. Atomic Force, I think he'll go forward. Computer Patch, as you say, he doesn't lead anymore. And Rock Your Heart, with that good draw, he should be able to get a nice enough run. How Deep Is Your Love? I think the likely favourite's going to probably sit midfield.
And he wears those orange colours, does How Deep Is Your Love? And those orange colours will be worn by his jockey, Karis Teeton.
Karis Teeton, How Deep Is Your Love? A horse who you're really putting together a good association with, and he returns to Happy Valley.
Yes, Nick, it's nice to see him back at the Valley. He ran a great race last time. Let's hope he keep his form and be back in the winner's box.
Just on that race last time, obviously, Shah 10, the race you allude to when he had his debut there, he bumped into a good one, clearly, a horse that we know quite well in Victor, the winner. Do you feel if the race was run slightly differently for your horse, you might have got that bit closer, if not beating him? I mean, the circumstances probably led to the winner getting first run.
Yeah, you're right. I thought there was a few things that went against him. I thought from the gate, Nervous Witness jumped aside and sort of knocked him out and just broke his momentum. And once he got going, then the pace slacked up around the turn. So I thought, considering how the race ran, I thought he ran a great race. It was nice to see him quicking up like that. But yeah, we are happy with the horse, and he pulled up well, so he's ready to go again.
It's a relatively quick backup. The fact he's gaining all this experience, do you think he can sort of take that in his stride, given that he is returning to the races quite quickly?
Yeah, I think so. He's a big, strong horse, and like I said, it felt like last time half the race he wasn't even there, and then he put a nice performance. So I'm sure Mr. Saiz knew what he's doing, and if the horse is well, he'll kind of run him,
Given it's a decent quality of race, obviously there will be plenty of speed on. I guess that suits your horse, given his running style.
Yeah, I think that will be perfect. He's got a nice draw, nice width on his back, so he gets the nice run. I'm sure he's going to be competitive.
They are Karis's thoughts. Here are Paul's thoughts on How Deep Is Your Love. Now, this is the race that we saw in the interview, Paul, over at Shah 10 last time. Gee, it was a strong field. We know how promising Victor, the winner, is, but it didn't end there as far as the form of the race went, and he's proven at Happy Valley.
He is, isn't he? So coming back to Happy Valley, look, he looks really well placed there. He'd won his last two at Happy Valley before he came here to Shah 10. He's drawn ideally in barrier number 5. Karis is riding really well at the moment, so look, he looks tough to beat for me.
He does. Victor, the winner, had that good runner against the fence, and he sort of had to come up 3 and 4 wider around the home turn. He's done a great job to get within half a length, and still like the way he was attacking the line at the end. So he looked really, really tough to beat, I think.
It's a good push for How Deep Is Your Love. His rider, Tom, Karis Teeton. These are the last 5 meetings at Happy Valley only.
He's flying along. 8 wins at the Valley, 3 seconds, 5 thirds from those 43 rides, striking it just under 20% in the end. Paul, there's not many meetings that have gone by where he hasn't ridden a double or a treble.
No, the horses really run for him, don't they? And he's got some quite good rides there. You can see there. Telecom Speed, he can be a little bit...
He's a winner in waiting.
Yeah, I think he's right. But he can be a little bit dodgy at the start. King Invincible was really good on debut. Around the earth, there was plenty of money for him last time. Janu Flash, he looks really well placed. Happy Valley, and of course, How Deep Is Your Love?
Best of them, the last one?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
They are Caris's rides. We move on to some of the other horses in the race right now, and we are going to start with Rewarding Together. Now, this is Group 2 racing, Tom, and the horse that he beats, or beats him home, is in the yellow there. We see on the weekend, it just happens to be one, Lucky Swainess.
And he'll go off as a favourite in the Chairman's Sprint Prize this weekend. Lucky Swainess. He had a great run behind the winner last time out here, beaten, 4 lengths, but he was still running on at the end. He was back on the fence here and tried hard. Top 4, Paul, 6, should say, top 4 missed out only once for those 6 wins, course and distance.
Yeah, look, he has to go in for me on the back of that form, because that's rock solid form, isn't it? And look, he's 14 to 1. He can't start that, surely.
His last win, he carried 134 pounds. He's got one extra, 135 at the top of the book in race number 9. Next replay here, Paul, we have a computer patch. This is on the all-weather, obviously. There is a computer patch. Campione, whose best form has been all-weather and on the turf circuit at Sha Tin as opposed to Happy Valley. Astrologer, he loves the 1,200 metres around Happy Valley on a Wednesday night. And the other one in this race is Harmony and Rich, who did plenty of early work and has had that stable change since.
Yeah, Computer Patch got up to a rating of 115. He did run second off 114 as well, but his last one was only off 99. He's rated 104 now, 102 now, I should say, Computer Patch. It was a better run from him, but I think we've seen better days from him.
Yeah, I think so. And that was on the all-weather as well. Of course, he went across to a career and compete on the sand there, and he ran okay without getting carried away. I do quite like Harmony and Rich in this off that. He did a fair bit of early work. His prior run at Happy Valley also was very good.
Okay, that is Harmony and Rich, who ran 4th behind 8 trigrams after leading up in a trial, and he's strolled okay since. But he's also in this replay here, Tom. It was a patient ride from Hugh Bowman, Handsome Bobo. He just dropped in behind all the speed this night. Did have the luxury of barrier number 1. Draws 12 in this race. Here's Harmony and Rich again. This is the race you mentioned that he did run second in. We've got Rock Your Heart, who keeps on after covering ground. He draws barrier number 1. Astrologer is in those red and yellow colours, and Grateful Heart's last turning for home.
Yeah, he's not going to be afforded the same opportunity this time round, Handsome Bobo. He'll get the pace to suit because he'll have to go back from that sort of draw, but he won't be this far away from them at the 200 metres like he was in this run here. This was the run, yeah, I mentioned about Harmony and Rich, Paul, and that was a pretty good effort from him because he had actually been trialling okay leading into this.
Yeah, he's got a new stable now. David Hayes has got him. He's got blinkers on for the first time as well. So there's a couple of changes there as well. Look, Rock Your Heart's rock solid. He's run 3rd in his last 4 starts, and he's very consistent as well, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 1, so I'm going to include him.
Gets big weight relief too, Rock Your Heart. Carries 9 pounds less than last time for Dylan Moe's claim, and also the fact that this is an extended rating class 2. Finally, Paul Eason, who was a winner last time, but it was down in grade, which is where his best form has been. Are we going to wait for him this week until he can get that class drop again?
I have, yeah. Look, you look at his record on the grade, and it's 6 zip. So, you know, history shows that he hasn't performed in this grade before, so he just struggles. So I haven't going to include him. It's quite a strong race, this one.
Yeah, it is, and look, everything was set up for him this night quite nicely to win. I thought Eason went off at 5 to 1 in the market, got up by a neck over All Greek to Me, who's been beaten again, but Class 2 has been a struggling point in the past.
Okay, so wait perhaps for Eason for something easier. Who are we not waiting for, Paul?
Well, I think How Deep Is Your Love? He looks rock solid in this race. A good run at Sha Tin last time, won his last 2 here. Rolling Together has to carry the weight, but he's the class horse in the race. Rock Your Heart loves to run 3rd, so I've got him in there for 3rd. And Astrologer, with the pace on, I think he'll be finishing off strongly. 7-1-10-5.
Yeah, agree fully that How Deep Is Your Love is definitely the one to beat here for John Size and Caris Teaton. Really chased home Victor the winner strongly last time out. So 7 on top of 8. Harmony and Rich, who is a well-rated horse from his new stable. His last win was off 93. He's down to a rating of 85. He's trialled up well on the all-weather with the blinkers on, being up on the pace, and covered a fair bit of ground last start and dropped away. But the prior run at the Valley was good. Rewarding Together can't be left out, even though he's got barrier number 10. He'll be finishing off, and Rock Your Heart from barrier number 1. He's been there or thereabouts the last few. Yet to win course and distance, but keeps running solid races. 7, 8, 1 and 10.
All about How Deep Is Your Love in race number 9. So we've seen races 8 and 9 on the show here, Paul, which means there's 7 before them. that you can give us some winners for, please?
Look, I like downgraded horses in this meeting. I'm having a look at some of the ones. Circuit Elite's been downgraded. Scotch Tycoon's well rated. Invincible Missile's been downgraded as well. He looks well placed. Circuit 7's drawn ideally in Barrier 1. Tianchi Monster, another one's won off a higher rating before. And I think Son Pak Fu can win again.
He's certainly in the winning groove, is Son Pak Fu. Of that list, which one was the best?
Got to go with Invincible Missile. I think he just looks really set up well for this race. He's so well rated at the moment. His last one was off 71 and he's down to this 59 rating. So with Hugh Bowman jumping on, I think this is his race, that's what I'm trying to say. Circuit 7 hopefully comes up a price. He's drawn nicely in Barrier 1. Again, another really well rated horse. And I did like his fifth at his last start. And we're going to go for the play in one of the races we've previewed, race 8, QQP 127, California Deeply, Special M, and Seasons Win.
California Deeply, the best. Race 8, set number 1 for Matthew Chadwick and Tony Cruz. He'll be out of his ground, but he'll be running on at the end. California Deeply. Ace Talent for Casper Founds and Alexi Bedell, yet to win from his 9 starts, but I thought ran with plenty of merit last time out in the 5th race. Horse 10 off a rating of 43, and rewarding together. How Deep Is Your Love, Harmony and Rich, the play in the last.
It's a C+3 meeting, so horses with good draws. Race 2, number 9, Snow A Lot, 2 starts at Happy Valley for a first and a third. Gets in really nicely with the draw and the weight. Harmony Fire, he races well over the 1,000 metres. He is drawn at barrier number 1. The play, race 2, King Excellente coming back to the Valley. Mr. Valiant from the inside, and Snow A Lot 349 in a QQP. That is Happy Valley, Tom. Then it's Sha-Tin.
Yeah, FWD Champions Day at the weekend. The 3 Group 1s, the Sprint, the Mile and the Cup, and plenty of good horse on the undercard too, Paul.
Yeah, all the first 3 horses that are first home in the Derby, they're all racing as well.
Golden 60, V Voyage, Bubble and the others. But that has been Racing to Win. We'll see you at Happy Valley Wednesday night.